No one noticed what was going to occur. The actors, the crew, and Rasheeda. Cameras caught Kirk Frost in what is now considered one of the most dramatic moments in love and hip-hop history. A sudden outburst that shocked everyone and left Rasheeda in tears. The video has already gone viral on social media just a few hours after it was aired. The fans are demanding things. Although producers are scrambling to address the criticism and come up with answers, the damage might already be done. On what was supposed to be a normal day on the set, everything took place. An additional scene concerning the long-term partnership. Then, though, something shattered. After accusations were made and voices were raised, there was an internet explosion. No one saw Kirk's abrupt and unanticipated confrontation with Rasheeda coming from the man she had supported for a long time. It is now up to viewers to guess what truly happened off camera. Does it indicate anything deeper and more troubling, or was it just a single moment of conflict? Those close to Rasheeda say she is upset and done, despite the fact that she has not publicly expressed her feelings. Reports state that VH1 bosses are concerned that this scandal could not only ruin Kirk's reputation, but also put the franchise in danger overall. Stay put because we're going to reveal something shocking to you next. Beneath the intense glare of studio lights, the love and hip-hop stage was lively with its usual, barely controlled mayhem. Cameras were set up, makeup artists were putting the last touches on, and assistants were rushing around. Kirk walked in wearing a tight expression, his jaw tensed as though he were attempting to control a storm. As Rasheeda sat off to the side, browsing through her phone, trying to appear composed, the entire crew could feel the obvious chill between them. However, anybody who knew her could see the emotional tension beyond the surface. There was a problem. Something was going to break. The viewers didn't know that just before taping, Kirk had checked Rasheeda's phone. The messages weren't graphic or aggressive, but they were personal. She told a friend that Kirk had disappointed her most recently. "I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending this marriage is okay," he remarked with urgency. However, he did not approach her then. Instead, he took up position on the scene and waited until the cameras were rolling. But his heart was churning. A simple conversation about their son's academic situation was to be filmed. As the director demanded action, Kirk, however, could not control himself. Instead of sticking to the plan, he launched into a tense exchange. "You really feel like this then?" Smiling on camera and talking behind my back. He spoke softly yet sharply. Rasheeda raised her head, puzzled and emotional. "What are you even saying?" she asked in a trembling voice. "Your brief messages. I have read them all." Kirk walked over to her and raised his voice. The team froze, unsure if it was still part of the scene or if something had just really come to life. Was it only a scene from the show, either pretending or letting real life unfold in front of everyone? It was a heavy moment. It was intense. The silence was thick. Rasheeda's eyes widened. "Really? You went through my phone?" Kirk returned with, "Don't act as though you are innocent. Behind my back, you've been making fun of me and smiling in my face." "Hey Kirk, that's not true." When Rasheeda suddenly stated, "I'm tired of the lies," he responded with intensity. At that moment, Kirk ignored the director's attempt to halt the action and request a cut because he was now so overtaken with emotion that he could not be retracted. "I needed to let it out, Kirk," Rasheeda replied, her voice shaking and her eyes watering. "I can't keep this inside any longer. You let me down and your absence makes me feel like I'm drowning." They were the words that drove Kirk over the edge. He raised his hand. No one was ready for what came next. As his palm made contact with Rasheeda's face in a heartbreaking moment, time appeared to slow down. It was a moment that echoed through the studio like a thunderclap. All of them gasped. There was a clank as a clipboard hit the floor. Rasheeda looked stunned and remained still. She turned her head away. She cautiously brought one hand up to her cheek. He had just crossed the line. Then a beat of silence fell. Then there was chaos. People from the crew rushed in. As the assistant director exclaimed, "Security!" A sound engineer rushed to Rasheeda's side and helped her walk away. With his eyes wide and his chest heaving, Kirk remained there, seemingly unable to process what he had just done. But once it was done, there was no turning back. The cameras kept recording, not out of intent, but because no one had pressed the stop button. It was all documented from different angles. On the set, Kirk Frost, a veteran of the show, was recently seen mistreating his wife on camera. Word spread outside the studio like wildfire. One crew member had earlier sent a message to a friend. There was a serious incident just now. Kirk hit Rasheeda on camera, and that single message ignited the fire. Social media quickly gained traction. The name of Rasheeda started to circulate as she was escorted to her changing room. It was unbelievable to the fans. Despite the constant stream of reports, no one was willing to believe them. Kirk is not presented positively in any of the different versions of the same story. Once again, Rasheeda went to her dressing room and sat in silence. Her cosmetics were smudged. Her cheeks were already red, but she stopped crying. The person that had been weeping had ceased. As though something buried had finally surfaced, there was only astonishment, sadness, and a strange sense of relief. Muttering to her hairdresser, "He really did it. He hit me." Producers were in utter panic in front of everyone outside the door. Some wished to cease production entirely, while others were eager to make a statement before the video was leaked. It was too late, though. Someone on set had already taken a phone video of it. The studio cameras filmed everything in high definition. But by the time the shaky vertical cell phone footage was uploaded to the internet, Kirk had already departed the building. An apology was not offered. No explanations. All Kirk could make out was a blank face, stiff shoulders, and a hardened posture. No statement. Not to the team, not to his boss. All he did was step outside, climb into his car, and drive off. The next morning, the first clip was on the internet. It was distinctly unstable and of poor quality. When Kirk Frost struck Rasheeda, the reactions were powerful and quick. Fans were upset. He received a deluge of calls for his arrest, termination, and even cancellation. Stars began to add their voices. Rapper, "No explanation, no apologies, just unacceptable," posted on Twitter. A well-known R&B performer once said, "I grew up watching them. It aches. I'm tired of it." Mona Scott, the show's executive producer, couldn't keep quiet either. Her message was succinct yet straightforward. Using any form of aggression is unacceptable in our production. Important decisions are being made. Speculation began to circulate. VH1 may decide to cancel the entire season due to Kirk's lengthy suspension. Rasheeda said nothing in spite of the noise. She didn't stay quiet for long either. After a few hours, she only posted one image to Instagram. There was a blank black screen with no caption or tags, yet her fans left her heartfelt messages and support. "We treasure you. You are far too worthy to remain with him." Although there was a lot of pressure on her to speak out and reveal the truth, the support was just as strong. She kept her inner storm of guilt, anger, sadness, and doubt hidden from the world. She didn't know what she should do. The decision of whether to pursue charges or stay in the marriage, or whether to permanently leave,